we need to clear up some confusion about a character in Expedition 33's ending because I think many of us have been making the same mistake. Major spoilers ahead. In my last video, a lot of you identified this kid, Gustave's apprentice, as the kid that shows up in Myel's ending. And honestly, I thought the same thing at first. But when I looked closer, something just didn't add up. So I'm going to show you exactly what made me take a second look, and later I'll show you something different about Verso in this scene that I think most of us missed that might tie back to this kid. And no, I'm not going to argue whether it's a better or worse ending, if it's Myel or Verso that are right. I'm not even going to talk about how adorable Esquier is and how he's the best bundle of pixels to grace our screens in the past decade. God, I hope they release that SK plushie soon.
Shut up and take my money!
Now we're going to start by taking a look at these two side by side. First, their hair is a very different color. Also, we can see that the apprentice has a smaller, more upturned nose than the other kid. His chin's smaller, he has freckles, his brow juts out less. I think it's pretty clear that these kids just don't look the same. And I don't blame you if you thought they were the same because the character models for all the kids in this game are similar in the way that they look just a bit off. It's like their faces are too old for their tiny little bodies. Like they've been prematurely aged by watching everyone they care about fade into nothingness, expedition after expedition never coming back, while they sit there quietly realizing they're almost certainly going to share the same fate, growing up in a city built on grief until all that's left is a handful of children with the weary faces of sad middle-aged accountants. Wow, this game is depressing. I love it. So who is this kid really? I promise we're going to get to that, but first, we need to address the people who are still unconvinced. If after all that you still think it's the same kid, well, fine, I've failed you as a YouTuber, but I'm still gonna do you a solid. Here are two quick and kind of unlikely theories about how this could still be the same kid, because theorizing is fun. I like theory 2 way better, so let's get theory 1 out of the way real quick. Theory 1, the developers goofed. What if the devs intended it to be the same kid, but overlooked the subtle character model differences? It seems unlikely you'd think they'd catch something like that in the ending of the friggin' game, but it also wouldn't be the first inconsistency. Theory 2. Myel sucks at painting. At the end of Act 2, all of Lumiere's inhabitants are erased. Later, it's up to Myel and her magic paintbrush to repaint everyone. There's a couple of moments in the game that suggest Myel may not be the most skilled painter, like when the fading woman, Clair, says, "I've spent far more time here than you. I painted half this world with Verso. We went on adventures here while you sat reading in your room." So, did Myel just kind of fumble repainting this kid and decide not to fix it? Maybe. Did she not like his original dumb face, so she rearranged it because she's a demented teenager playing God with the lives of everyone in Lumiere, nay, the entire world of the canvas? Maybe. Jokes aside, I actually really like the idea that when someone's repainted, there's a chance that they come back a little off, if the painter isn't attentive or skilled enough. But then, I found myself combing through the rest of the group, CL, Luna, Gustave, Sophie, looking for other differences, and you're not going to believe this, but I didn't find any. Yeah, I was bummed too, that would have been great for the video. So, who is this kid really? Well, the most popular theory in the comments of my last video, after it being Gustave's apprentice, was that it's the remnant of Verso's soul, or the fated boy that Myel has repainted. I really like this theory because, well, it fits. The last person we see Myel with before the fade to black after she kills Verso is Versa. Well, little Versa. And the very next time we see her, she's with this little guy. It also fits the lyrics in the credits song quite literally. Verso in the night, moon or Luna, close to him, since the kid sits right next to Luna. Moreover, we know that little Verso must continue to exist in order for the canvas to continue existing, so it makes a lot of sense that Myel wouldn't leave him in this awful sort of half-boy, half-horror show sort of state. The only thing I can't get past is that it's been established that if Verso stops painting, the canvas gets erased. So if this is Verso, how is everyone still here? I suppose Myel could have created a new little Verso, but who knows? So is that it? Is that how I'm deciding this controversy ends? No, not quite. But a quick aside, if you're enjoying this, please consider hitting the like button or subscribing. It really helps more people find these videos, and it lets me keep overanalyzing random NPC children for your entertainment. Anyway, when I was scrubbing the ending footage, I noticed something that gave me pause. See, one of the things that every member of the Descendre family has in common are the piercing pale blue eyes, and Verso's are the most striking of all because they carry this profoundly weary and haunted look that you see again and again. And you know what? I don't see those eyes here. In fact, if the kid's eyes remind me of anyone's, they remind me of Luna's. This calls back to that theory in my last video of this somehow being Luna and Verso's kid. And there's one more detail about Verso in this scene that might also fuel that idea. Why does Verso have a wedding ring? Now, one way to explain this is that the suit Verso is wearing is very similar to Renoir's suit outfit that you unlock. It's missing some of the details like the gold streaks we see earlier in the game, but it does have a very similar look. And with that outfit comes Renoir's wedding ring. So the developers may have just reused that asset for this scene and maybe didn't account for conspiracy theorists like me that have way too much time on their hands. But if it's intentional, well, that adds a whole new dimension to the Luna and Verso theory, doesn't it? Unless Sandfall ever gives an official answer, we can't really know who this kid is for sure, and I think that's okay. There's a lot of ambiguity in this game that leaves it up to players to decide and argue about how to fit the pieces together, and I kind of like how that's going to keep the conversation going on one of my favorite games of the past decade. And if you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching, and if you're interested in the last video I mentioned, you can find it right here.